First of all, thank you so much, everybody. I'm so excited to see all of you here. And welcome to the Clapping Monkey. If you haven't had a chance to check this place out, it's amazing, right? Go next door, check out the vintage hall. It is a safe space for everybody in Fridley, and it's really important that we have spaces like this in our community. So I'm really glad to be able to launch my campaign here. I also want to thank you for being here. This is a tough time. I know it's December, it's right in the middle of the holiday season. So thank you for making some time this evening to come out and hear from me. And I also want to hear from you. So as you're looking around, you see these things that say community survey. Let me know what your priorities are, because I totally agree with what Jess just said. And the reason why we send people to St. Paul is not just to do stuff for themselves or because they want it. Because they want to represent the community, and that's what I want to do. My goal is to be that voice for you, but also to help you have a voice in St. Paul. I've been working at the Capitol now for about 10 years, and I know the difference between when people show up and when just people who've been paid to be there show up. It makes a huge difference. The difference between passing legislation and policy that benefits people versus passing legislation and policy that only benefits certain interests that have paid for it. And so I'm really excited to launch this campaign. I've been doing this work my whole life. I mean, as Jess said, we worked at Maple together. I taught her, now she teaches there. My whole life has been dedicated to building the next generation of advocates. And that started when I taught at a community college. I taught at Century College in White Bear Lake for over a decade. Before that, other places across the state, including Wilmer and elsewhere, teaching people how to be good public speakers, how to be good advocates for themselves and for their community. And then I got lucky because I got a chance to start a debate program at Minneapolis North High School. I worked with the Minnesota Urban Debate League to launch that program. And since then, I've been on the Minnesota Urban Debate League board. I recently stepped down from that, served there for 14 years. And in that time, we built high school policy debate programs at every high school in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So now we have thousands of students who have gone through and become better advocates, better speakers, and they represent the most diverse group of new advocates we could possibly have. I also taught at Maple, right? And that's where I got my degree. All the Maplers are here. So that's the Masters of Advocacy and Political Leadership program at Metro State University. And that is another engine of training the next generation of advocates. So many people that I've worked with have gone on to become powerful advocates in their own right, even elected officials who've passed important legislation like Jess has. So I'm really excited to be able to take this work to the next level, right? And to do it on behalf of my district, on behalf of you, and bring those ideas, but also not just bring ideas, but help bring you to the Capitol, right? One of my goals is not just to be giving you a weekly report of what happened, but also to help you understand what's coming so that you can actually do work with me and help make change at the Capitol. Now look, we are in a really weird time. I don't know any other way to describe it. Every day you turn on the television and you see the latest outrageous thing that's happened or that's been said. It's kind of soul crushing sometimes. And it really requires all of us to think about what kind of world we want to build together in response to this. It's not enough just to be outraged. It's not enough to just be upset about the way things are. We have to start to think about how we're going to build a better world together. And that's part of the reason why I want to run a campaign that really emulates the values that I think we all share. We need honesty and integrity in our public servants. We need a chance to actually tell the truth about the world and the way it is, and to defend our neighbors from the attacks like the one we just saw recently from President Trump, saying that our Somali neighbors are garbage. This is not a moment where we can take a step back. I'm not suggesting that, but I am saying that beyond just being mad about stuff and responding to the threats in front of us, we also have to think about what kind of world we're going to build that's going to be better than the one that we have right now. There are a lot of things about that I want to work on, but I also want to focus on some issues that are really important to our district. Education is number one for me. Like I said, I'm an educator. I've worked in high schools, I've worked in community colleges, I've worked at universities across the Midwest. And they've all been public universities. They've all been public schools. I really am a deep, deep believer in public education.
Woo!
It is literally the engine that makes our community get better. It's the one route out of poverty for a lot of people, right? So it's absolutely essential that we build an education system that serves everybody, that's fully funded, and we got to get out of the way of our teachers and let our teachers teach.